Since getting married 10 years ago, Erica and Kirk Mulrooney have dreamed about becoming parents. But the journey toward pregnancy, including fertility treatments, was filled with challenges.
It came to a point where that wasn't getting us anywhere either. So we had some decisions to make, but none of them quite felt like what we were supposed to do. We just didn't know why.
After their last failed attempt at fertility, they say part of that reason was revealed. 6 months later, in April of 2009, Erica was rushed to St. Francis Hospital. She had emergency open heart surgery after suffering an aortic dissection, which is a tear in the aorta, similar to the condition that killed actor John Ritter.
Had I been pregnant, both myself and the baby would have died, and I would have been about 5 months pregnant had that procedure been successful.
The night Erica came in was very dramatic.
Cardiologist Dr. Polly Moore was on call and helped save Erica's life.
I truly believe God put me in the right place at the right time. She had a critical, acute illness that was life-threatening. And identifying it immediately and getting treatment immediately is key to survival. And that's what happened with Erica.
Everything happened just so fast. And I was like, she's in God's hands. She'll be fine.
A few years later, Erica found herself in the hospital again. This time she had a lump in her chest. It was a non-cancerous tumor, but she would need surgery and years of chemotherapy.
There was never once I doubted that she wouldn't make it through.
Erica says she feels her prayers to become pregnant were answered, but the answer was no.
In the midst of all of that, in those 2 years, we had decided to start the adoption process. We had visited a high-risk doctor who said, there is absolutely no way at this point that you can carry a child.
After years of heartache, Erica and Kirk's dream of becoming parents finally took off halfway around the world.
God just kept leading us in a different direction.
That direction ended up being Ethiopia, where they were approved for an international adoption. They first laid eyes on their new son, Brooks, last April.
It was surreal to be in another country knowing that that's where our son was.
Brooks had been abandoned in a forest as a newborn. A farmer found him and turned him over to an Ethiopian police officer. This little boy lived in orphanages until the Mulrooneys legally became his parents.
The nurse took him and kind of threw him into my hands, and just to hold him and squeeze him and just to see how peaceful he was, it's like, this is our son. This is the son that God had picked for us from the very beginning.
In June, the Mulrooneys were able to bring Brooks home to Indiana for good. This bubbly toddler will be 2 years old in May. His mom and dad say they feel like Brooks has been their son from day one.
I'm not a very emotional guy, but this kid, he's unbelievable. And he has touched me, and I can't describe.
There's that saying that everything happens for a reason. But I think in so many instances, we don't get to see right away what that reason is. And in our instance, it didn't take very long before God showed us, hey, this is why.
Can I have a kiss?
Brooks' middle name, which was given to him by the police officer in Ethiopia, is Barakat. In the native language, it means blessings. His mom and dad say his name is no coincidence.
It's really been a fun journey to think about how we're going to get to go through life with this little boy.
This new mom and dad say each day with Brooks is filled with blessings. Julie Persley, RTV6. A church that took a community years to grow was destroyed within minutes by this massive fire.
I can remember it as a youngster growing up in this area.
Flames raced through the Life Springs Church on US 231 north of Greencastle before dawn this morning.
It's a very active church in our community, and a lot of people are going to be really sad about this today.
A passerby called 911 after seeing smoke. The fire was so large, more than 100 firefighters from Putnam and surrounding counties were called in. One of the biggest challenges for firefighters is the fact that there are no hydrants out in this very rural area. Tanker trucks had to bring in all of the water from neighboring communities. Also, firefighters were working in temperatures below zero throughout the morning. What do you think about all these firefighters who have been out here?
They're just impressive.
just awesome to be out here in this kind of weather, and you can't say enough about them.
Road crews put down salt since the water was freezing within minutes. Church members and staff say they're appreciative for everyone who works so hard.
Praise God that we have the firefighters that we have that were able to come out here and risk their lives, and they stayed safe through everything.
The sign out front reads, "What will you give up to be closer to God?" This congregation may have given up a building, but members say they will still stand strong as a church. In Putnam County, Julie Pursley, RTV6.
My name is Ernest Hefner. I live in Stilesville, Indiana.
This Hoosier from Hendricks County is someone who will likely make you do a double take
I'll be 80 in February.
because he doesn't let anything slow him down. If you see him on the road, you can't miss him.
Makes me look good. And that's mission impossible.
He is the proud owner of
The Purple People Eater.
It's a three-wheel motorcycle
But once you put the top down and you're cruising, you're good to go.
that's been transformed into a car. Every morning, Ernest Hefner drives it to the local cafe
Morning, gang.
for coffee and breakfast, plus idle conversation.
And the Purple People Eater goes anywhere.
He's not kidding. Ernest says this is so economical to drive,
It gets around, I'd say, between 45 and 50 miles to the gallon.
he takes it just about everywhere he wants to go.
Anytime I got any run around and do locally or to Indianapolis, whatever, I'll jump in this because this so much cheaper to drive than a bigger car and heavier car.
Along with saving him some cash, he's enjoying the ride.
Do you get a lot of stares?
Yeah. You have people run alongside of you down the highway with their camera stuck out the windows.
I had to give it a try.
This is fun. Economical and fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can put $20 worth of gas in and run forever.
Ernest thinks the best way to get around the countryside is on three wheels, but we found somebody who likes to zip around town on one.
Meet Raj Danala.
This is an electric unicycle. It's called Solo Wheel.
The 29-year-old commutes to work in downtown Indianapolis
Basically, it works like a Segway.
without using a drop of gas.
It has a built-in gyroscope.
In fact, he barely moves his body.
You lean forward and it goes forward, and you lean back, it goes back.
But yet, he can travel up to 12 miles per hour on this motorized device. Danala can be seen wheeling around the sidewalks of downtown,
Just to go places and not to worry about parking, you can just carry this thing around.
while the rest of us are fighting traffic and lights.
I see people at the signal lights all the time, and I don't know, I see people taking pictures with me.
The two-time cancer survivor decided to find a healthy, challenging, and cheaper way to enjoy life.
It saves you money. No more parking anymore.
Clear for takeoff.
These Hoosiers are proving with a little creativity, you can beat high gas prices and enjoy the ride while you're doing it.
You can just have fun, more fun than anyone else in this world if you choose to.
In Indianapolis, Julie Pursley, RTV6.
Becky Ferrant is a Central Indiana woman who has thousands of followers on the internet. She is turning people around the world into roadkill rescue junkies. She believes one man's trash is another woman's treasure.
Hi, I'm Becky Ferrant, and I'm from Greenwood, Indiana, and we are going to go get some roadkill rescue.
You could call Becky Ferrant a picker. She loves to find what other people throw away.
I just kind of scope out trash days because that's when people throw away the most amazing things.
Ferrant takes their trash and turns it into
See if we can find any treasures on the side of the road.
treasures for her home, furniture, old wood.
Things that I can turn into other things.
Becky says she loves to give things a second life.
This used to be an old crib, and I also found this on the side of the road.
Now it's a hanging jewelry box in her bathroom. Becky turned this old sign into wall art with all of her family's former addresses on it. Ferrant found an old china cabinet. Now it holds her family's games.
This is an upholstered bench I did that actually was a bookcase in its former life.
In Ferrant's world, this is not recycling.
Have you heard the term upcycling?
Oh, sure. I thought I invented that word. No, I'm just teasing.
Her motto, rather than buy it, make it.
This was an old frame that was in the trash.
Now it's her family's calendar.
All my friends have made one of these, and just because it's really practical.
Ferrant started a blog about 5 years ago with before and after pictures.
My creativity was definitely born out of thriftiness.
This minister's wife and mother of two now showcases what she does on the internet.
This is a perfect example of roadkill rescue. This is an 8-panel door.
Now it's the headboard in her master bedroom. Her ideas have gone viral. Ferrant calls this one of her premier pieces.
It's a console table, but in its former life, it was an old vintage TV.
Now she has 3 blogs: Roadkill Rescue, Knockoff Decor, and Inferently Creative.
My last name is Ferrant. It's kind of a play on inherently, like I'm just innately creative person.
If you would like to try something like this, Becky says you really don't need a full room of supplies. You just need a little creativity.
I love empowering women to try and do it themselves. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I could never come up with your ideas, which is fine. You can just copy my ideas.
She can really have a vision for something that other people just see as something that they would throw away.
Her husband, Tim, should know.
She'll just simply say, stop the van, stop the van. And I'm like, what? And she'll look over and see something.
Becky even gives away some of her treasures.
This is our playroom.
Abby Bird of Greenwood bought this at a charity fundraiser.
What this was originally was a shipping crate, and Becky found this.
Now it's a family keepsake.
It's something that we'll have forever, and our kids get a lot of use out of it.
I just love the whole process of turning something that people throw away into something that you would have in your house.
For Ferrant, that's the best reward of all. Sharing her talents so others can be inspired by her roadkill rescues, one project at a time.
Becky Ferrant's Roadkill Rescue projects and blogs are so successful, she makes more money than if she had a full-time job. And she doesn't sell any of her pieces. She keeps them or gives them away. That income is from corporate sponsorships and ads on her blogs. Julie Persley, RTV6.